Hello students, today we will discuss about uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Consider an object moving along a straight line. Let it travel 5 meter in first second, 5 more meter in next second, 5 meter in third second and 5 meter in fourth second. In this case, object cover 5 meter in each second. So we see that an object cover equal distance in equal interval of time. So an object is said to be in uniform motion when it covers equal distance in equal interval of time. Then its motion is said to be uniform motion, and the time interval in this motion should be small. So we see here that after every second the object cover the equal distance, that is 5 meter. So its motion is uniform. It covers equal distance in equal interval of time. In our day-to-day life, we come across various type of motion in which object cover unequal distance in equal interval of time. For example, a car moving in a crowded street, or a person is jogging in the park. These are some instances of non-uniform motion, because in these cases the object cover unequal distance in equal interval of time, or the object cover equal distance in unequal interval of time. In that case also the motion will be non-uniform motion. So in non-uniform motion, the object cover unequal distance in equal interval of time. So the motion is non-uniform motion. Now there is activity. The data regarding the motion of two different objects A and B are given in table 8.1. This is your table 8.1. So look at this table. In first column there is time, distance traveled by object A in meter, and distance traveled by object B in meter. At 9:30 am, the distance traveled by object A in meter is 10 meter. Distance traveled by B is 12 meter. At 9:45 am, means after 15 minutes, the distance covered by A is 20. The next 45 minutes, distance covered is 30. So after every 15 minutes, the distance covered is 10 meter. 10 meter. So equal distance in equal interval of time. So this motion is uniform motion. The object A is in uniform motion, but in this case when you see the difference in time interval is same, 15 minutes, but here the difference 12 meter, then difference is 7. It means in 15 minutes it cover 7 meter. The next 15 meter it covers 4 meter. So unequal distance in equal interval of time. So this motion is non-uniform motion. When object cover equal distance in equal interval of time, the motion is uniform. When object cover unequal distance in equal interval of time, the motion is non-uniform motion. Now look at the situation given in figure 8.2. You see here on the signboard the speed limit. Speed limit is 15 kilometer per hour for car, and for this truck the speed limit is 40 kilometer per hour. So what do you understand by this signboard? The car travels 50 km in 1 hour and truck travel 40 km in 1 hour. It means different objects may take different amount of time to cover a given distance, or different distances are traveled by these two objects in 1 hour. The rate at which the object move can be different. Different object can move at, also the different object can move at the same rate. So the rate of motion of object is find out by the distance traveled by the object in unit time. Distance traveled upon time taken. This is called distance per unit time, or the rate of motion is measured by distance per unit time. And the quantity, this quantity is referred to as the speed. So speed is the distance traveled per unit time. It is measured in meter per second or kilometer per hour or centimeter per second. So speed is a distance traveled per unit time. What is the rate of motion of a body is defined by this speed. To specify the speed we requires only magnitude. So speed is a scalar quantity. So speed may change. It is not a constant quantity, it may change. In most of the cases, object will be in non-uniform motion. Means its speed changes. So when speed changes, we describe the rate of motion by average speed. What is average speed? Average speed of the object is obtained by dividing the total distance traveled to the total time taken. So the average speed is equal to the total distance to the total time. Ratio of total distance traveled to the total time taken. So this is a formula for speed, distance upon time. So let us consider an example. A car travels a distance of 100 km in 2 hours. So its average speed is total distance upon total time. That is 100 upon 50 km per hour. This is the average speed. Now there is a numerical. An object travels 16 meter in 4 seconds and then another 16 meter in 2 seconds. What is the average speed of the object? So the formula for average speed is total distance traveled upon total time taken. So total distance is 16 plus 16, 32 meter, and total time is 2 second. 4 plus 2 second. 4 plus 2 is 6. So divide 32 meter with 6 seconds. You will get the answer. So average speed is total distance per time. So it will come out to be 5.33 meter per second. Now speed with direction. You know that speed is a scalar quantity. Speed is scalar. It has only magnitude and no direction. Now speed with direction. So if we specify speed with direction, so this quantity that specify both speed and direction is called velocity. So velocity has both magnitude as well as direction. So the velocity is the speed of an object moving in a definite direction. तो velocity में आपके पास magnitude भी होगा और direction भी होगी. So velocity is a vector quantity, and velocity can be uniform and variable. It can be changed by changing both. It can be changed by changing the object speed or the direction of motion. So velocity changes when its speed changes or direction changes, or both can be changed. When the object is moving along a straight line in variable speed, we express the magnitude of its rate of motion in terms of average velocity. So as in case of average speed, when the speed is changing, we describe it with average speed. Similarly, when the velocity changes, we describe it with average velocity. So when the object is moving along a straight line with uniform velocity, the average velocity is given by initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2. So when the velocity of the object is changing at a uniform rate, the average velocity is equal to initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2. Now some questions are given in your textbook. You have to solve these questions. This will be your assignment, and reply your answer in Google Classroom. So today we have discussed about uniform and non-uniform motion. Uniform means same, equal distance. When the object covers equal distance in equal interval of time, then motion is uniform. And non-uniform, when object cover unequal distance in equal interval of time or equal distance in unequal interval of time. Then we have discussed about speed. The rate of motion of a body is specified by speed. ऑब्जेक्ट कितना फास्ट है कितना स्लो है that is described by speed. And when the speed is changing, we describe it with by average speed, total distance upon total time. Speed is a scalar quantity. It has only magnitude, no direction. Unit is meter per second. And velocity is a vector quantity. It has magnitude as well as direction. In case of velocity, a particular direction is specified. When the velocity is changing at uniform rate, we described it with average velocity, and average velocity is given by initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2. It is a vector quantity. The unit of velocity and speed are the same, meter per second, centimeter per second, or kilometer per second. Now you have to solve these questions. Okay, thank you.